Do you know the classic question about a glass with water? Is it half full or half empty? We can talk about being an optimist or a pessimist when we check your answers to the homework task.
Conditional sentences in English with Jennifer.
Let's go over your answers to the tasks from our previous lesson, okay? I asked you to finish my sentences. 1. If you're an optimist, it means you always... 2. If you're a pessimist, then you often... 3. I try to... if I'm having a bad day. I'll go on my computer in a moment and we'll look for real conditionals, factual conditionals about the present. We'll see if you remembered to use the present tense in both clauses, the condition and the result.
Okay, Rod starts us off and says, if you're an optimist, it means you always hope that things will be good in the future. I agree with the statement and it is grammatically correct. You are, it means, these are present tense verbs, so it's grammatically correct. If you're a pessimist, then you often think that what is going to happen will be bad. Good. Again, I see present tense here and present tense here. Now, what you think can be about the future, but we're making a general statement. It's a general truth about being a pessimist. And his last answer is, I try to imagine tomorrow without the problems of today if I'm having a bad day. I like that. That's a very good approach if you want to stay positive. Try is present tense, and of course I gave this to you. I'm having. It's present tense, but it's not the simple present, is it? I'm having is the present progressive. Okay, let's go on. Marcelo gave us answers and he wrote, if you're an optimist, it means you always think everything you do will end as expected, and hopefully in a good way, right? Again, present tense, present tense. If you're a pessimist, then you often think, why am I writing all these comments if they will never be read or answered? But of course you're not a pessimist because you know I not only read, I'm now including your comments in my videos. Present tense, present tense. Okay. Let's look at what Mahmoud wrote. If you're an optimist, it means you... Oh, we're missing a verb. Let's put it in. You're always hopeful and confident about the future. Good. So we have present tense, present tense. Okay. If you're a pessimist, then you often tend, let's have subject-verb agreement, you often tend to see the worst aspects of things or believe that the worst will happen. Good. It's correct and I agree with the statement. Often tend to see. I try to relax and watch TV if I'm having a bad day. I think a lot of us do the same thing. Present tense and present tense. Good.
Remember that the present tense isn't just the simple present. In our real conditionals about the present, we can have other present verb forms. Let me show you some examples. We'll see how I go beyond the simple present in the condition. If things go wrong, I still try to remain positive. I try to stay positive if I'm having a bad day. If I've had a string of bad luck, I tell myself it's going to end soon. A number of you asked me on YouTube and Facebook about if versus when. Usually, there isn't much of a difference with these real conditionals, these factual conditionals about the present. If could suggest that the situation happens less often. Consider these examples. I usually give myself a full hour to get ready in the morning, but if I wake up late, then I skip breakfast and just have a cup of coffee. I have trouble waking up in the morning. When I wake up really late, I eat a quick breakfast or just drink coffee on my way to work. The difference between if and when is basically the same with real conditionals about the past. When I did all my homework, I was allowed to watch TV, but if I didn't finish, the TV stayed off. You get the sense that most of the time I finished my homework, right? How about you and the rules you had to follow when you were younger? Let's take a look at that bonus question from our previous lesson.
Sean wrote, if I passed the exam smoothly, then I didn't need to take the makeup exam. I had to take the makeup exam if I couldn't pass the exam. Okay, logical, we have our comma in place. If I passed the exam, you really don't need smoothly, just passed. If you want to talk about how well, you could add well. But I think it's clear enough without an adverb. If I passed the exam, then I didn't need to take the makeup exam. I had to, right? I had to take the makeup exam if I, stick with the simple past, didn't pass the exam. And you could be clearer just by adding the first exam, just to be certain that there's a first exam and there's a makeup exam. All right, Gabriel wrote, I could stay up on Saturday if I didn't have any test on Monday. If there wasn't any test on Monday, then I was allowed to stay up on Saturday. Good job. Let's just change that to a lowercase I. Susanna wrote, if I made my bed, I was permitted to have my breakfast. Okay, if I made my bed, I was permitted. Wow, that's a strict rule, huh? I could go outside, ride my bike, or skate if I finished my homework first. Let's add a period. Could go. Could ride, could skate if I finished. All right, Marat wrote, a rule I had to follow all the way through 11 years of school. What was it? Let's read. If we needed to go to the bathroom, we had to raise our hand and ask to be excused. We were only allowed to go to the bathroom if we raised our hand and asked to be excused. Good. Claire wrote, when I was a child, let's start with a capital. When I was a child, so many years ago, I couldn't go out with my friends if I hadn't tidied my room. But let's stick to the simple past. There's no need to shift back to the past perfect. So you weren't allowed. I couldn't go. I couldn't go out with my friends if I didn't tidy. Right? If I didn't clean up my room, you could also say. If I tidied my room, comma in place, good job, I was allowed to go out. If you'd like to see more of my corrections to student examples, then visit me on Facebook.
So just as we can have real conditionals about the present, we can have real conditionals about the past. In our real, factual conditionals about the past, we use the past tense in both clauses. Besides the simple past, we could use the helping verbs would and used to plus the base verb in the result clause. Let's look at more examples. Some of you shared things about your past on my Facebook page.
In a recent Facebook post, I said that I used to stay up late if a good movie came on TV, but I can't do that anymore. So then I asked you, what's something that you did in the past? Let's look at some of the answers. Gabrielle wrote, I used to play video games all afternoon if my cousin came to visit me. Right, so we understand now that those visits don't happen anymore, but it's something he used to do whenever his cousin visited. If, when, whenever, they're factual conditionals, so any of those choices could work. Molly wrote, I used to go hiking if I didn't have to do my homework on the weekend. Right, if there was no homework, then that's what she did. She went hiking. Syed wrote, I used to play marbles if my parents gave me money to buy some. Annie wrote, I used to drink 5 cups of coffee or more when I felt tired or if I felt tired. I can't do it anymore. I used to skip class. You don't need the. I used to skip class when my friend asked me out for fun, or if my friend asked me out for fun. So my personal preference in your examples, I would use when in the first, because most likely drinking a lot of coffee was a habit, a frequent habit in the past. So when I felt tired, whenever I felt tired, I used to drink 5 cups of coffee. And if is still correct, but if you want to suggest it happen quite frequently, you could go with when or whenever. But you can't do that anymore. In the second example, I'm hoping that you did not skip class too often, so better to use if there. I used to skip class if my friend asked me to, if she wanted to go out for some fun, for example. Nikki wrote, I used to feel sad if somebody misunderstood me. It doesn't bother me anymore. I just ignore them. Well, I'm glad. Let's look at one more example. I used to listen to love songs by Mariah Carey, probably more than one song, right? Love songs by Mariah Carey when my daughter was sleeping in the morning. I'd go with when, I agree, because it was a regular habit, I bet, a regular routine. If she woke up, past tense, I had to stop everything and spend time with her. Everything in the past. And we're using the simple past because these are real factual conditionals, real situations.
Here's your next task. Take a look at 3 statements. Are the verb forms correct in the conditional sentences? You don't have to post the answers in the comments, just think about the verb forms. We'll go over the correct answers in the next video, okay? Here's a bonus question I'd like you to answer in the comments. Will anything bad happen if you don't charge your cell phone? What will happen? Answer in a complete sentence. And remember, if you post your examples, I'll likely use them in a future lesson. That's all for now. I'll see you again soon for our next lesson on conditionals. If you found this helpful, please remember to like this video and subscribe. As always, thanks for watching and happy studies.
Remember to join me on Twitter for vocabulary practice. I'm there Monday through Friday. And if you follow me on Facebook, you can try different language tasks throughout the week. Join me in the English room on seymour.org. It's one more place for additional practice. And don't forget to subscribe here on YouTube.